Welcome, everyone. Welcome. This is Flashpoint Friday. My name's Austin. This is Flashpoint TV. I got goosebumps already. Every time I watch that animation, it just reminds me that there's a breakthrough. There's a breakthrough moment. There's a moment when it all makes sense. No matter how far it seems away, there's a moment that we can capture and we can create. So let's jump into the show. I'm excited to have you here with me today. I'm excited to kick off this series that we're in right now that's featuring all the authors in our upcoming book called Your Health Turnaround Story Starts Here. And I'm going to share that right away because I really want to highlight this person that's going to be joining me today, and I'm going to get to that. But let me share with you the book cover right now. Your health turnaround story starts here. Today, I am honored and excited to feature one of the co-authors that is going to be in that book, and I have an incredible story for you, and I'm going to get into that. But first, let me kick off the show because we do some things here on Flashpoint TV to really help you dial into this and dial into the moment, because one of two things are going to happen here today. You're going to get something or you're going to give something. And that means you type in something in the chat, you have an insight, something that comes through, and I hope you get both. The first thing we do on the show is we highlight the hourglass as a reminder to dial into the present moment. As the sand moves through, it's a reminder that all we have is right now. We can't go back and change what has happened. We want to avoid worrying about the future. All we can do is be here. We certainly want to create our vision. We certainly want to learn, but we don't want to get caught up in a bad emotion or energetic state living there. I want to invite you to dial into right here and capture something for yourself today. Type in "I will." If you're in the chat, type in "I will." Type in "you're here." Type in "you're present." The next thing we highlight is the Thomas Edison light bulb, is a reminder of the flashpoint moment, the breakthrough. Thomas Edison, the famous quote, "I did not fail," when he was asked, "You attempted to create the light bulb 10,000 times. How does it feel to fail 10,000 times?" He said, "I did not fail. I created 10,000 ways in which the light bulb would not work." And this light bulb here is a replica. I actually purchased this in Menlo Park, where the light bulb was finalized, and that rendition of the light bulb was in effect for 100 years. It's a great reminder for us that there's a moment when it makes sense. No matter how many things go wrong, no matter how many ways we feel off, that there's a moment it's going to make sense. I want you to dial into that today. I'm going to grab your shares as well. Let me move over to that, and I'm going to highlight the next thing we're going to focus on is the cowbell, because you can never have too much cowbell, and the cowbell is for insights. Like, for example, great share, Mandy. We can always dial into the present moment. It's a choice. We want to highlight. You can just type in the word cowbell, and I will bring out the cowbell to highlight those moments. All right. Are you ready? The moment we've been waiting for. I want to bring on our special guest who drives a Harley to the gym almost every day in ripped jeans with her workout clothes covertly hidden underneath. She owns a 67 Camaro. I'm already like jealous in a good way. And she spent 25 years working for a company, and she's worked with companies like IBM, Experian. So she has an incredible background in business, but her turnaround story comes with her health. She literally dropped 4 sizes. Do I have your attention? I trust that I do. Because not only that, it's about the whole wellness, which she embodies now. And I will say this, what I really love is that she also volunteers her time because of her Christian faith. She volunteers at, I believe, a local food bank. We're going to get more on those details. So I want you to really give me some love here for our next guest. I'm going to check and see if she's ready. Thumbs up. All right. I want you to give a warm welcome for our incredible co-author, Tiffany Leader, somebody who's become a friend. And I've been waiting to get you on this show to really highlight your story. And I have a little surprise for you too. But Tiffany, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here as well. And we're going to dive into your story. And I got some shares here because people giving you some welcome. We're going to have Mandy join. I just want to let everybody know once we go through Tiffany's story, Mandy's going to come on later and recap the whole thing. So I really want you to grab something today. Oh, she's calling you my Miss Yamaha, but that might be a little sacrilegious, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
A motorcycle is a motorcycle.
Well, okay. Unless you're a Harley, we know you drive a Harley. So welcome in, everyone. I will. Thank you, Sabrina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. So Tiffany, I'm glad you're here. You're going to be in the book. I really want to dive into your story today. You're going to inspire people right now by sharing your story. And I know you've had some tough moments in the past. I know the story goes deeper than even what I know. But what I want to do is so we can appreciate where you are. But are you willing to go back to some of these earlier moments where maybe you didn't feel like, as you look back and you look at those moments, and those moments, you didn't feel like you were going to make it here. Maybe you had some moments of doubt, uncertainty, and maybe fear. So are you willing to go back and share some of your story with the audience today?
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. So let's go back to maybe some of those times where I would say before that turnaround, right? Maybe you're living a certain way and maybe you're having some health challenges. Can you take us back to one of those earlier moments, maybe before you didn't feel so confident and maybe you were kind of doubtful that this could even happen?
Sure. So I will say probably in my early to mid 20s, I struggled a lot with scoliosis, which is curvature of the spine. So I had many, many debilitating moments where I had to roll out of bed. I couldn't tie my shoe very well. Everything was painful. Sneezing was like one of the most painful things. And, it was a major focus for me, just trying to deal with the pain. And so it resulted in, unfortunately, a lot of drinking and taking painkillers. And I even had an incident when I was at work because I had taken so many painkillers. I got so sleepy. I fell asleep at my desk sitting up with my keyboards on my hand. And I remember this. I was, quite young. And so, of course, my colleagues, made a big joke out of it. And that's when I said, oh man, something's got to change here. I can't live this way. And so I gradually, just tried to find ways to, not drink anymore. And honestly, that's when I found my faith. I said, Lord, something's got to give. Something's got to change in my life. I can't go down this route any further. My career was just starting. I was, starting to do well, but, always struggling where people, couldn't see it. And an enormous amount of pain. And living with chronic pain has its impacts on everything, almost everything in your life. And it was hard to focus. It was, hard to just move forward and, just keep going. And so I began the journey of, just focusing, mainly started with my faith and my mental health and making decisions to make changes in my life that were for the better.
I'm going back here. So you're dealing with this chronic pain in your back due to scoliosis. Mm-hmm. Was at that time was like exercise like the farthest thing from your mind? Like you thought, I can't exercise, like, right? Or did you manage to exercise at all, like when you're going through this?
Yeah, I would go to the gym, and I was big into doing step aerobics and at the time. And but it was kind of a social dance thing for me. And again, that resulted in me creating issues with my knees because it's a very repetitive movement of, working on hard on your knees and stuff.
Right.
But in between it, I would do the step aerobics. But again, I limited, myself to what I was, I guess, doing physically. Obviously, I tried to, again, use the painkillers to mask the pain so I could function, so I could do things, because, at the time my father had boats and we would go to the river all the time. He had a houseboat and, getting on water skis. I remember a moment I went water skiing, got in the boat, took off when, I was standing up and I fell between the seats and I couldn't get up because my back went out. And of course, my father was old school at the time and he just said, "Oh, it's in your head." And I said, no, there's something seriously wrong. So everything I tried to do to, just keep active and have fun in my life, could have been a very painful experience. But yeah, I struggled with it for many years and I still struggle with it to this day. But I,
No.
found physical therapy, stretching, chiropractors, deep tissue massage, all of the above, acupuncture. I've done it all over the years. But again, it was, not entirely correcting it, but taking steps forward to my health.
Now, at this time, did you, because you said you were drinking, you're in your 20s now? So it sounds like your overall health wasn't there. You were working out, but really it was just kind of existing. You're trying to go to the
Mhm.
gym, you're taking painkillers, you're drinking, right, at this time. And I can only imagine that that's like a cocktail for you.
Yes.
You must have been in like, were you dealing with any like depression at that time or anything like that?
I would say that, it was at my lowest point in my life and I was not happy most of the time and just used the drinking as an excuse. But I will say, probably around 28, 29 is when I found my faith. And I literally stopped drinking for probably 2 to 3 year time. I just dried out. I said, I can't do this anymore. And it was the mixed drinks and go to the bars and, and then have that, maybe
Yeah.
that social cigarette, sort of thing. And I
Oh, yeah,
remember
yeah,
a
yeah.
conversation with one of my friends at the bar one day, and she goes, "Tiffany, we adore you, and we just don't want you to smoke anymore."
You
Friends
were
would,
smoking too.
yeah. Well, it was more of a social smoking thing, but I mean,
I
I
know.
wasn't
Yeah,
buying packs a day, but I would have that cigarette with the drink, and
I get it.
maybe a
Yeah,
couple hits off of a cigar and stuff. But yeah,
yeah.
and then eventually it got, like I just had to stop it cold turkey. For a while,
So
I like it, this. It's dry out time for
so
me.
I'm gonna dig here a little bit. I'm gonna go for it here. You, because you in your bio, it says you dropped 4 dress sizes, right?
Yes.
So how was your self-image at this time? Like, I'm just curious.
Yeah. So the dropping of pounds happened way later on for me with that, and then kind of the story moves on when my father got ill with Lewy body dementia. And I, took the time. I was fortunate enough that my company allowed me to go visit him in hospice care 3 days a week with a laptop on my lap, and be there for him, but learned about his disease and how diet, like what you eat, can impact that disease. Because my father died young of Lewy body dementia. Same thing that Robin Williams, Casey Kasem, died from. And it's where like the saying goes, you are what you eat and stuff. And so after my father passed, I unfortunately weeks later, um, had an injury and I blew out my left knee. So it resulted in me having to move in with my mom and have my mom take care of me and so forth.
Wow.
And then as I was going through the rehab and stuff, I was not feeling right, and started to have a lot of sinus and physical issues where my throat would lock up and things like that. And then ultimately over time discovered that I had allergies to aspartame, artificial sweeteners,
Oh my goodness.
and certain foods like that. And it was like a progression of things that occurred between my father's illness, blowing out my knee, and going through major rehab, which I had to halt all my physical activity and what I was doing, at that time. And then having these strange food allergies that made me quite ill all the time. And then when, ultimately when my throat just completely locked up and I went to urgent care and, ended up getting that steroid shot. I did the research myself and did the self-discovery and learn, based on, I just did a self-analysis, said, what am I eating, drinking, and doing differently?
Good for you.
So once I went through that analysis, thank you.
Yeah.
Once I went through that analysis, I, started cutting certain things out of my diet. Now, it didn't happen
Yeah.
overnight. It wasn't easy. But
Yeah.
then, I started feeling a little bit better and realized, I need to get back into my physical activity. And I came across what was called a challenge with a boot camp. And I had never done interval training and things like that before in my life. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this for myself as a commitment to get better. And so I started this challenge and, started doing this 30-minute interval training, and, started, doing a little bit more cardio, a little bit more weightlifting, strengthening and lengthening training and things like that. And, having these coaches support me. And, one of the founders of the boot camp, was giving us great mindset messages and, just opportunities for a lot of mental and physical growth. And as I was doing the boot camp, I just got hooked. I'm like, this is phenomenal. This is great. And with that, I started changing my diet around, cutting out sugar. Of course, I had to cut out the, aspartame and preservatives and,
Sure.
like even artificial colorings and things like that. There are in a lot of food that we eat.
Yes.
I stopped eating that. I don't eat fast food anymore. I don't drink soda anymore. And, people think, oh, you're cutting out everything. But you know what? I just changed it around and I started eating cleaner along with the suggestions that were provided, with the boot camp and doing the interval training. And then, just progressively, I was just starting to feel better. And I recall a time I was only into boot camp about a year and a half, and learned on my 50th birthday that I lost 10% body fat. And I'm like, wow,
That's a cowbell moment.
like happy birthday to me,
10%.
I
Wow.
like never, ever imagined in a million years that I would have those kind of results. But then, I came to realize that it's more than just physical activity. It's what you eat and how you take care of your body and how you hydrate and your mental well-being. And
Yes.
so ultimately, I started lifting more weights and, just, kind of refining what I was doing in boot camp and, with the support of the coaches and, the founder and all this stuff, it just started, getting to a point where like I'm starting to see results. Well, funny enough, when the pandemic hit, obviously everything shut down. And so I was forced to like, okay, do I work out from home, online? And because that, offering became quickly available, the boot camp decided to pivot very, very quickly. And so I put a mat in my garage and away we go. And believe it or not, I lost more weight and I gained more muscle during that time than since when I started with the boot camp. And it was lifting more weights
From
because
home.
we had to do a lot more stationary movements. We didn't have a lot of room to work, right, in the garage. And so I just was lifting more weights. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, I am getting maybe a little bit of a 4-pack. I am getting a little bit of muscle in that arm.
Flashpoint.
And
Wow.
and then, I mean, this has been a 3-year process. I started Mission Viejo Fit Body Bootcamp in 2018,
3 years.
and with their challenge. And so I've been at it just over 3 years. I will soon be hitting my 500th workout.
Wow.
I just,
You got a
but
lot of cowboy moments. So
you
let
know,
me
and
just stop for a moment, Tiffany. I want to just pause for a moment because this is amazing. 500 workouts, 3 years. You are committed. You've
yeah,
transformed, and I want to grab this because what's coming through to me is that you're in this phase of life, and it's
hmm
chaotic. It's confusing. You got pain. You're trying to make sense of it all, and then all this stuff starts to go wrong with your dad, and then you're realizing you have food allergies, and then there, boom, and then there's a shift, and
yeah,
there was a moment. We don't know when that moment was, but there's a specific moment where you went and made a change, and this is what I want people to get, that your changes could be so small that lead to your flashpoint. It's a small moment of recognition that usually comes after something bad has happened.
mhm,
And I love the fact that, and I really want to drive this home, that it was a gradual process, making a change here, making a change there. And this is why we honor the whole journey. And now here you are 3 years later, you're down 4 dress sizes, you're 500 workouts, but even more importantly, you've removed the stuff that's no good from your diet, and you infused things that are better for you. And I just want to grab this because Sabrina shared this, having support, because you had some, as you're going through this, you had support, but also the mental health is so important, because now your mental health is spiraling upward. And this is where that interconnectedness of everything comes in: mind, body, spirit, and as Dr. Grant says, it's what you eat, it's what you don't eat, it's what's eating you. And it sounds like, all of those proponents are involved in your health turnaround story. So give Tiffany some love, congratulate her. This is amazing. She's doing an incredible job. And I'm going to pause for a minute because you've inspired a lot of people. So I'm going to grab this moment right now. Just give me a second. I got a little surprise for you. We're going to congratulate you here. Okay, hold on.
thanks for
Back to you.
sharing
500 workouts.
yeah, thank you for sharing that, Austin. I appreciate that. I will share something behind that now that you shared one of my sweaty selfies. So when the pandemic started and we were doing things online, Bryce Henson, who actually owns the Mission Viejo Fit Body Bootcamp, asked us to start doing sweaty selfies and just keep the engagement level going and share on social media. And so I started doing that. It was very uncomfortable at first. I'm like, what am I doing? Taking pictures of myself. I'm old school. I'm not a millennial that, thrives on that. However, I got so hooked on it that I was using it as my accountability partner, honestly. And what I do
Really
is when
good.
I post those sweaty selfies, which when we went back to the boot camp, I continue to do that. So the coaches know I'm going to track them down and get a sweaty selfie with you. and I gamify what I do, along with accountability. So all the coaches have nicknames, and I number my workouts. So when I log my workout and present my
Yes.
sweaty selfie, I hold myself accountable. And I told myself I, would reach, the 500 workouts, before the end of the year, and I'm going to do it, things like that. And
Wow. That's
gamifying what we
amazing,
do
Tiffany. Amazing.
and writing it out to yourself. This is a form of me writing it out to myself. Really, really helps me continue to stay inspired. And I inspire others too. I get a lot of comments with those from those all the time. I'm doing it on one social platform right now, but I'm going to expand it out to others and
Yes, you are.
continue the process going. And, and that's part of, through this whole journey of getting healthier, right? It's not easy and it can't happen overnight. And you said it, when it just you reward yourself on the small steps that you take
Yes.
moving forward. And, it's okay if you skip a day, things like that.
That's
You
huge.
also got to give your body a rest. And, I
Yes.
just, learned through this journey, especially the last 3 years, by holding myself accountable, making it fun, even my diet, I love to cook. So I've learned new recipes. I found a lot of great sugar-free alternative, healthier versions of the things that I love, because I'm a sweet tooth by nature. And,
Yeah.
I've just found creative ways to, enjoy it. I don't diet. I just eat differently. I
I
eat,
don't diet either.
yeah,
Forget your diet. Fire
it's,
your diet.
well, it's hard on the system if you're going to
Yes.
do one thing and then all of a sudden change it. And so I incorporate vegan into my diet. I incorporate keto. I, incorporate, lots of fruits and vegetables, and like I mentioned, cutting out the preservatives. I was forced to, obviously, because I was just very unhealthy
Yeah.
otherwise. But
Yeah.
I tell you, I have more energy. I am more alive than ever. And I'm my new 30 something at 52 years old.
Woo! I love that. This is great, Tiffany. You are inspiring people. And I want to throw a challenge out here. I think this would be so cool if you took a picture of the Harley, you and the Harley, like, like, because you drive the Harley to the gym. I would love to see a picture of you. I don't know how you would do that, but to add that to your gym picture, because I think that would be brilliant. I love that.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done the selfies with the gym. Funny enough, you mentioned me riding the Harley. So when you're talking about my jeans, it's a funny story, but there was a couple of my favorite jeans that I'm just, they're way too big for me. And when I learned that I could put those jeans over my workout pants, I'm like, yay, I can wear my, riding jeans that I enjoyed wearing over my workout pants. And then, literally just slip them off when I get there. And it works out beautiful. And, I get my riding in too, because
Yeah, you get that
yeah.
yeah, it's so good. So we got Jennifer Beaver on here. So proud of you. And
That's one of my close buddies.
okay,
And
and
I
then
actually got her started at the boot camp recently. So, and I think I'm
congratulations,
getting her
Jennifer. That's
hooked.
fantastic. And Melvin is on here as well.
Oh.
So really good. And Mandy's saying, get in that Harley and drive. So, yeah, this is great. So I like, you have a lot that you could do with this, and you're going to reach a lot more people. What are you up to now? Like, what's your passion project? I mean, you're going to continue to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, and you're in the book. Oh my gosh, like, you're in the book, which is a huge deal, that your story is going to be in the book that we're working on, with all these other amazing turnaround stories who we're in the process of interviewing each week right now. And so glad to have you on. But what else? Like, what else is coming through with all this? Like, is your mission getting more distilled and clarified? Like, what's going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah. Especially with my health, I'm getting stronger and faster, and it's my, goal. I want to do a half marathon. That's one of my aspiring goals. And, and take it from there. But I definitely, I always try to get myself to a next level. I mean, for example, I've increased my weights, after I've been lifting so many pounds, for a while, and, just do things that inspire me physically, just to take it to that next level. Because
Love it.
I love it. I can't go more than like 3 days in a row not working out, things
Right.
like
So,
that.
think
And
about your standard.
yeah,
I love
yeah.
this. So, and I want to hit this too, because this is really important for people. your standards have increased around your fitness. It's a
Oh
priority in
yeah.
your life. However, you still give yourself grace because sometimes you just can't get there. Something's going on, but you have this like, it sounds like it has to be three or more. Like there's that minimum of three is your standard. And then you kind of build, and then your weeks ebb and flow. Sometimes you're there 5, 6, sometimes you're there maybe 3, 4. But the key is that you have this momentum. You've built this
Mhm.
momentum by making these small changes over time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just, like I said, I'm addicted to it in a good way. It's like I probably work out on average of 5 days a week, with that,
That's awesome.
given my, schedule. And,
That's awesome.
I just, and with that, I made a whole new group of friends too. And it's great when you have people that you work out with that you admire and you learn from as well. And that's the great thing about a boot camp scenario, working out. It's not like you're sitting there by yourself at the gym, working on a machine.
Right.
You're working out together. You have a common purpose. And
Yes.
yes, I do get a little competitive, at times
No,
with
no, you
that.
don't.
That's my given nature. And I see my mom commenting
Yeah, your
on
mom's on
there.
here.
My mom is
Mom.
probably one of my biggest cheerleaders, and she makes a comment after every sweaty selfie that I take. And
Well, you're doing great, Tiffany. You're
yeah,
doing great. And that's what this is about. This isn't, it's about inspiring others, but it's to really say you're doing a fantastic job. You're
yeah,
building momentum. You're inspiring people. And that's what we're doing here. We want to inspire other people to take their steps.
yeah. And that's it. You need to find a support structure for sure. That to me was the pivotal point in making decisions to progress like I have, especially health wise and mental wise too. And it does go both ways. And when I say mental, I take time out to meditate. I take time out to really stretch and relax. And I'm fortunate that I have a backyard with a nice view, and I get to see the birds and animals, and so that's like my oasis.
Tell us
And
where that is, because I didn't really mention where you're from, but if you want
yeah,
to.
yeah. So I'm in Southern California, an area called Trabuco Canyon. To put it in perspective, I'm about 30 minutes southeast from Disneyland.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful area. I'm very blessed, and yes, we have to watch it with the winds, and I'm potentially in a fire hazard area, but definitely to me, I love where I live, and I'm into gardening a little bit, so it makes it fun,
Oh, beautiful.
out here and stuff. So I enjoy that time of reading, relaxing, and meditating in my backyard.
Beautiful. And Mandy's talking about our people proximity. Flashpoint is the way you're getting around the right people, and what you did,
Yeah.
and you continue to do. And now you're the person people want to get around. They want to be around you. They want to learn from you and learn from your example. Okay, so we have about 3 minutes, and we're going to bring Mandy on, maybe give or take. But I really want to highlight what you're working on, like your future vision now that you're, I mean, again, honored to have you on here, share your story. You're going to be in the book. We're going to be launching that book, soft launch December, formal launch January. We've strategically positioned it. We're going to do a summit on January 23rd. Tiffany's going to be a part of that summit as well, where we're going to talk more about these stories and share these health turnaround stories. But what are you most passionate about now moving forward?
So me is just continuing to as far as passion, inspire others in what I'm doing, encourage others that to not take it for granted that we may not be here tomorrow. It's been a complex year for not the entire world, and things have changed, and we had to make a lot of decisions quickly on a lot of things. And so if I can be there to inspire and support and help people with whether it be a health journey or anything, just be there, and with that, be present in the moment with all your time, because I learned that, that like with my father, it's like, I'm glad I had my moments with him, but came to realize that, I need to enjoy my moments now while I'm here, because I don't know when that will end for me. God only knows. And it's his plan for us. But while we're here, if and it says it in the Bible, we need to be here to help, support, be there, and love each other. So
beautiful. Let me just grab this from Marlon. I know you know Marlon. Fit Body Bootcamp. My wife and I go 4 to 5 times a week under Joe T-Well, who's also in our book and was also a guest. And I say it's a decision. Even went he went this morning. So awesome job, Tiffany. Awesome job. And I'm really excited for you to do this half marathon when it's ready. That's going to be really exciting.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring on Mandy. I know she was taking notes, and we're going to reflect back to you what she heard and give our audience an opportunity to hear this again, and really want you to appreciate your journey. Really want you to appreciate your journey. So Mandy's our spokesperson for Flashpoint. She's in the green room, we call it. Mandy, are you ready? Okay. We are right on time. Look at this. Wow. All right, here we go. All right.
Hi.
Mandy.
Go for it. Hi, Tiffany. Welcome. Thank you so much for sharing your story. So I'm just going to give as detailed a recap as I can. Love that you're in Southern California near to Disneyland. You started with, in your mid-20s, you had scoliosis, which was debilitating. You suffered with chronic pain. You've continued to suffer with chronic pain, and you turned to alcohol and painkillers. You fell asleep at work. But like so many other inspirational people, in that down moment, you looked up and you said, Lord, I can't do this anymore. Something has to change. Help me to make something change. I've got goosebumps. You spoke about how chronic pain impacts your focus, you're moving forward, and then it became about your faith, your mental health, making changes for the better. You started doing step aerobics. Then you had your dad had boats, you fell off water skis, you injured your back. Old school father says it's all in your head, get up, and we knew different. So the struggle with pain continued, and then you found natural reliefs with physio, acupuncture, things like this. The key was taking steps to improve your health. And at your lowest point, when you were depressed, unhappy, you were around 29, your faith stepped in, you stopped drinking, you went cold turkey, because even your friends said, Tiffany, you've even got to stop smoking, that you didn't like being around you because of that. So your self-image was very poor at that time. And that's when your father became ill and unfortunately died, where you were visiting him 3 days a week in the hospice. But it taught you how you could learn about disease, dis-ease, and how the key was to a diet, changing diet that can impact health. You are what you eat. And this is what you learned when your father died. Then you blew out your left knee. Your mum had to look after you. You were back in rehab, but you were feeling something wasn't right. And you came across all these food allergies, particularly artificial sweeteners. And then something really bad happened. Your throat locked up. My gosh. Yeah. And you had to get a steroid shot to be able to, I would assume, breathe. So you began to really think about what you ate, what you drank, and how you needed to do things differently. You came across a boot camp challenge and you decided to do it for yourself, committing to getting better. So you increased your exercises. You had supportive coaches. This is where the people proximity comes in, right? Your coaches helped you not only physically, but with your mental growth. Mental growth is key. If you don't have that, nothing is going to shift. You cut out sugar. You lost 10% of your body fat on your 40th birthday. Happy birthday, Tiffany.
50th, by the way, I'll correct that.
What is it?
Wow, what the heck?
Say that again.
I got the point.
Hold on, Mandy. Say that again, Tiffany.
50th birthday.
50th. Okay. Well, so let's say 5% at 40, then 50.
The new 30.
The new 30. So what you eat, how you eat, you hydrate, looking after your mind and body, coaches supporting you. Then the pandemic hit and you thought, what the heck am I going to do now? So you got creative, you put a mat into your garage and you began doing muscle exercises. And you, after 3 years, your goal was to be having 500, the 500th workout. And this is when you began to drop 4 dress sizes, which showed you how committed and determined you were. Austin brought out the point that you had this shift in a specific moment of recognition after something really bad had happened, and it was a gradual process, and how you honored your journey. Mental health began to go upwards, things began to improve. And then we got into this sweaty selfies with Bryce from the boot camp, and how encouraging is that to hold yourself accountable. And in our program with Austin, it's all about accountability, holding each other accountable. I love it. And I loved how you logged and numbered all your workouts to enable you to reach this 500th workout before the end of the year. It's absolutely vitally important to write out our goals, because that's what keeps us focused. That's what keeps us inspired. Rewarding ourself with small steps along the way and making it fun, etc., like learning new recipes so that you could be sugar-free, vegan, keto, etc. More energy, more lively than ever before. Your new 20 at 50 is absolutely incredible. You're in the Health Turnaround book, and I love your mission. You have 2 beautiful missions here. Your mission is to be stronger, faster, healthier. You want to do a half marathon. That's just tickled Austin, because he's a marathon, ultra marathon runner, right? Taking life and things to the next level, and having friends in the people proximity that support you and help you to keep moving, right? So when asked, what is your mission, your beautiful mission out of all of this? To inspire and encourage others to never take life for granted, as you saw through the death of your father. Been there, feel for you, have my love. Enjoy every moment, because we don't know 1 second in front of us if that will be our last moment. And to enjoy it with our friends, our family, and the most important thing, to love each other. If we don't come from a center of love and gratitude for all our blessings, including our family, the accountability, what we're doing for ourselves to improve and inspire others, if we don't come from love, and forgiveness is a big one, we've got nothing. We've got no foundation. And you're doing it all, and I honor you for that. So keep the meditation going, the stretches, the relaxing, the gardening. Find the fun in the moment gradually. You are an utter inspiration to everyone, and I can't wait to see your story in the Health Turnaround book. Bless you for being here. Thank you for being here. Namaste, Austin.
Thank you so much, Mandy, for that beautiful recap. I'm inspired now. I'm going to the gym today. I'm going. It's a good day to go. But what I wanted to do, well, first of all, Tiffany, I just want to turn it back over to you and just see what you're thinking and feeling right now.
Wow. I'm wowed. You just awestruck me, Mandy. I just, when people react to my sweaty selfies, for example, I get inspired, because I want to learn about them and what they're doing as well. And, my friends that made comments on here, I'm into music and live music, and and that just, to me, especially having parents that are musicians and, and ordained chaplains, I get inspired by them all the time. And,
amen to that.
And just,
beautiful.
And I just love and adore my family and friends, and really, really in this last, especially year and a half, come to just appreciate those moments. Because we just, this world's, different.
Very different.
We have to just be there, and my biggest thing was, getting in the present moment of not just for myself, but those around me. and just really appreciating it.
Okay.
And, you know, I had a fabulous Thanksgiving with my family yesterday, and
Beautiful.
our togetherness was so much. And, you know, we shared so much. And, you know, my sister's kids coming back, you know, and visiting that are in college, and just seeing their growth and transition and how successful they have been. That's an inspiration in itself. When, you know, you look at your whole family around you and you just see the success around, and the inspiration. And I'm just so blessed with a wonderful family, and, you know, supportive friends between the boot camp, and friends that I grew up with, and, you know, friends that I go see live music with, you know, and so it's
Yeah.
been very inspirational.
Tiffany, you again, this every time we have one of these interviews, or every time we were doing anything with Austin and Flashpoint, this scripture always comes to mind. I forget exactly where it is. It's been a while since I looked, but I think it's Hebrews. It speaks, a scripture speaks about inciting one another to love and fine works. And that's what happens when we're with family and we're with people proximity, people that are supporting us, loving us. And it enables us to shine our lights even brighter, to make a difference in other people's lives, and feel the inspiration rise and come from them too. It's just beautiful.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Light bulb
Yeah.
moment.
And your mom's on here. Just want to honor your mom again, you know, saying that. And that's why we focus, you know, the mantra here with Flashpoint is get free, stay present, and move forward. And that present part is so important.
Yeah.
And it's a, you know, it's a dialing into, it's an ebb and a flow that we are aware of. So before we say goodbye to Tiffany and we get into the closing sequence, Tiffany, I just thought it would be cool if you just could call out, you know, a couple names. You know, you obviously can't call everybody out, but is there some names that you'd like to throw out here? Maybe we can tag them in here and just honor those people for being a part of your journey.
Yeah. Well, Jerry, my mother, Jerry Baker Tatum, Jerry Lynn Baker, you know, whatever name she wants to use. But again, my biggest cheerleader, my biggest support. She has inspired me throughout my life. And, you know, I don't know where I'd be without her. So I just want to give my mom the biggest shout out ever, because she's just a lovely lady. And, you know, she's in her 70s. She's so youthful and just inspiring. And, you know, she's also one that just loves helping others. She's a very godly woman with a big heart. And I just have to give her the biggest shout out. I adore her and love her. And I'm so glad that she's my mom.
Amen to that.
I'm glad she's your mom too. And I'm fighting back the tears here.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Tiffany, I'm so glad you were with us today. And I trust you'll go back and look at this again. And we're glad to have you a part of the book. And I just want to encourage you, because sometimes we need that encouragement to keep going, to fire us, put more fuel in the tank. And here's encouraging you for another 500 in that half marathon, and keep inspiring others.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Okay.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Mandy, great job in the recap. Yeah, that's
wow. Again, it's always wow here after these interviews. Gosh,
it's really powerful. So I'm really glad that we had this time with Tiffany.
Beautiful. She's beautiful. They all are. Oh,
yeah. So I wanted to hit on a couple things for those of you that are watching. I'm going to share the book cover again, because we have room for well, 5. We got some folks we're talking to for the book. So we're looking for 5 other turnaround stories to be in the book. And I'm just going to share that book cover right now. So if you know somebody has an incredible health turnaround story, we are vetting people to get these final 5. The book, we're going to have a soft launch in December here, and then a formal launch in January. Tiffany will come back with us January 23rd. We're going to do like a 2-hour There's going to be a panel involved. We're really going to get into the more details about health turnaround and wellness and moving ourselves in that upward positive direction for our health and health turnaround. And then, Mandy, I also wanted to highlight, we have our, some of the things that we're working on with the ACT program, the accountability. So I'll just want to turn it over to you.
Sure. The ACT program is key to everything, as I've just brought out in the recap there. The ACT program is accountability, coaching, and community that leads to transformation. So again, we all need to be held accountable for our actions if we have any hope of progressing in whatever direction, personally or business-wise too. So we meet every other week on a Thursday, right? I've just lost track of time.
No, that's good. I got you covered on the dates. I'm going to
Okay, you go on the dates. Okay, so we meet every other week, and right now we have 3 left to the end of this year. So they are complimentary. If you want to join us, you can come in on the ACT call. You can get a feel for the sense of what we do, how we are with each other, what we do to encourage and hold each other accountable in. And to do that, we invite people to go to Austin's private group, Journey to Freedom. That's Journey to Freedom. And in there, you can obtain a PDF of 9 questions to ask yourself to help you remove limiting beliefs in here, and again, help you to move forward. So once you're in the private community and you've grabbed the PDF, then you can come into the ACT program. You can chat with us in the chat room. We've got 3. The PDF is complimentary. The ACT calls are complimentary right to the end of the year. There is so much value in these programs, and they are free. They're complimentary to the end of the year. Grab them while you can, because they will just change your life in ways that you have no idea about.
Yeah, and so, I'm just going to bring that up, that the next one, December 2nd, we're going to have Marlon on with us.
Oh, yes.
And Marlon's going to be sharing some of his wealth principles, some of the stuff that's not mainstream. We also have another special guest that I'm working on. So we're going to keep building these, and we're building a model of accountability.
Perfect.
Because just like Tiffany shared with her experience with the boot camp, those same principles are applicable in our lives. We need accountability. So that's why we've decided in Flashpoint to create this community that's based on accountability, community coaching, and transformation. There's lots of opportunities. I would say this is like a ground floor thing, because we're launching this. I'm like the new kid on the block with this stuff, what we're creating, but we know the power of it and what it's doing for people in the community. So I really wanted to hit on that. And I'm going to shared the link. Yep.
The power of transformation is huge. So definitely share the link. I also wanted to bring out on Monday, we have every Monday at 5:30, we have a weekly recap. And as Austin brought out, it's becoming a highlight. So we recap everything that we've already succeeded on. We show you and give you the heads up on what's coming in the future down the pipeline, where you can be, when you can be, how it can benefit you. And that's at 5:30 every Monday. So we invite you to join us there. This Monday coming, Austin also has, yay, our Flashpoint reunion. Woo! So all the co-authors from the first book, of which I was one of them, with great honor, is Monday, and I'm looking forward to seeing all my friends and co-authors.
I'm going, wait, what do we have coming up? And I just remembered, we have the reunion.
I've not forgotten that. That's just, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
We also have a retreat coming up in February, and Austin is looking for 8 people to come and join us for 10 days. Learning, growing, interacting, 5 days of Flashpoint, 5 days of the power of pure presence in the sunshine, away from the winter, in a small community that we can really get to know each other and benefit. Cowbell moment. So connect with Austin. We need a minimum of 8 so that he can book the venue and get secure. So I think, and then the most important thing, well, they're all important. Oh, there's so much. Every day, we are doing the gratitude manifesto. So it's expressions from guests, expressions from people in the chat room, and the definition and quotes, ways to get excited about being grateful for every little thing, every moment, every breath we take, everything we see, look, hear, taste, touch. It's all about inspiring gratitude. That's every Monday, every morning at 8 a.m. Join us, Austin. We're running out of time.
Thank you very much. No, no, thank you very much. And I want to just say this as we go into close. We got a couple minutes here. Is that what do you need? You know, what is it that you need in your journey to grow? Like that's what this is about. We could roll out 1,000 things, but it doesn't resonate with you. It doesn't matter. So what is it that you need to grow? We want to encourage you to join the private community that we're building. The relationships that are being formed there, they're just like family, really.
They
It's
are.
becoming like an extended family. The people proximity, the people that are coming into this are just people that are going to inspire you to get free from whatever's holding you back, to be more in the present moment, like Tiffany so eloquently and beautifully described today, and to move forward. Without presence and progress, we're not experiencing the fullness of life, and we can't. And the way we get to presence and progress is there's things we need to get free of, and I believe that wraps in our relationships as well, because all of our growth it impacts the next interaction with a loved one. You know, if you grab that today, it's going to impact the next moment. So I want to thank everybody for being with us.
Can I just say it's presence,
we have
progress,
time.
and passion. Live your life with passion. Be in this community because we work passionately to help you all to grow and move forward. Thank you for
so
having
much.
me. God bless you. Love you
We
all.
don't work hard anymore.
No,
Stop
I
working hard.
didn't use that word, right? I didn't.
No, you. But I'm letting people know we don't work hard anymore.
We work passionately. It's
We
from
work
here.
passionately.
It's from here.
And I want you to invite you to do the same thing.
Mhm.
Stop working hard. That's draining. It's boring. It's like work passionately. Because when you work passionately, the person on the outside is going to be like, wow, that person works really hard. But that's not the secret. The secret, there's a lot of people that work hard. And even the successful people, I heard Elon Musk, you got to work really hard. Well, if you're working hard digging a ditch, but you don't want to be digging ditches, you're going to be tired and burned down. If you love digging ditches, that's different.
Different. Yeah.
Right. But then if you have a passion for digging ditches, that's different. So work passionately.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes.
Take
Blessings.
a step, and we'll
Take
talk
the
to you
step.
soon.
Take care. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye.